All right. Oh, hey, what do you know? It actually gave us a thing. It says, "Oh, you're live now." Instead of sitting there like one Mississippi, two Mississippi, three
Yeah.
Mississippi. Oh, damn. Oh, they must really want me to give them that one singular dollar. They must really want that dollar really bad. When I get some more important things taken care of, they might get that dollar and
Like
more.
your electricity.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Oh, God. We actually have a developing story on that. But that's something we're gonna have to do some editing into. We came across some information. One bit of it we need to verify, but it came from a decent human source that does their homework. It's just naturally, like I can't go off of the guy's word of mouth completely before I report it. We're not CNN here. We actually have to go, okay, jot down what they tell you, look into it to make sure you can actually find whatever it is they're proving or disproving in that, and then show it to the public and go, yes, person said this. We corroborated that. So yeah, there's some work being done behind the scenes there. It's just found this out today. Found out a little bit about it yesterday. It was yeah, fairly fun. And then the day before we actually had a little bit to it. It came sprinkling right in, leading right up to the freaking weekend. So
Yippee.
yeah, we've got some stuff in the works. It's just for one person in particular. We'll have to do some video editing because this was some information that was just volunteered to us by a disgruntled fellow. And we'll get into a little bit of that later. I mean, I could show the footage once we get it done and everything because I don't want this guy to get boned just because it's getting hairy out there. But before I jam around like the old putz I am, first and foremost, introductions. So, as always, we have our golden guest here. Hey. Oh, have to turn your lights on. Jesus. There you go. At least you're battery operated. Okay, he's up now. Anyways, give us your introduction, Crossfire.
I'm Crossfire. I'm not faking gay.
I am not faking gay. We need to make that your tagline. You are not fake. You are not gay. uh, and I myself, I'm the CEO of Chaos Media, and our editor is running late because, once again, lovely weather we keep having. As you can tell from me being absolutely cold, I broke out not one but
He's
two.
accidentally hit a caribou or something.
It's probably. I hear the Canadians are invading to keep warm. Because he said like, yeah, I got to hunker down with the wife and the dogs because we have something called a nor'easter or something. So I thought the Vikings were coming to town. Then instead he's telling me no, it's thunderbolts and lightning and a blizzard too.
Yeah, it's called a nor'easter.
That's what it was, nor'easter. I thought it said nor'easter, like the. All right. So yeah, that's a whole lot of not fun. Oh boy. So yeah, that's our introductions, and this is episode 9. Oh, and oh boy, it's been one hell of a week. My God. Oh boy. But since we thankfully have found one very good thing out, the working theory is due to the different copyright claims and it kind of being like how you have a jukebox and the jukebox pays the money to whatever artist you play the music of. I'm assuming something like that is why we every now
AI
and
works.
again. Yeah, the AI stuff works. Yeah, it works, and the regular music it doesn't. They're like, yeah, we're going to start issuing you freaking tickets like we're the city of Chicago for citations for using people's material, and it's like they don't even work
Time to
with these
play it.
people. By all means, play it, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I found this YouTube channel by the name of Skybrowse. And he makes a bunch of AI music video content, and it's very good.
Excellent.
So I'm very in depth with the VTubing community or scene or whatever.
Yeah.
And one of my favorites. I recommend her as well. Her name is Pipkin Pippa.
I think
And
I've heard of
she
her.
caught wind that she was in one of these videos, and she wasn't necessarily happy about it, but it's like you can still do it. So what I'm about to show is Skybrow's response to Pipkin Pippa. So technically, it's a reaction video, and we're react chaining.
Oh Lord, how humorous! Let's see if the big guy gets himself in here for this one. He's gonna be deeply confused and wonder, okay, did I take drugs today?
Okay, so the
Let's
song
hear
is
the old
called
man.
Crybrows.
Crybrows.
Ready?
Yeah.
And I'll explain some Pippa lore as it comes along.
All candy as Candice and nothing
That's
in
Skybrows.
between. Not trying to be mean, just say what I'm seeing. This neon cap's full of crap, flushed down in the drain. Pippa gonna rip us straight up insane. Skybrows, this shit fake again.
Make him gay.
Crypto bro, you know Pippa don't play. This bunny's so based.
Oh yeah. So earlier on, there was something where it said Pippa gonna rip your ass or something.
Yeah.
She had a she's a corporate VTuber,
Uh-huh.
but she's with a smaller one, and they had her sing a song called Pippa the Rippa, and it's really bad. And she like put it behind members only.
That bad, huh?
Is like, yeah, everyone brings it up and makes jokes about it, and she hates it.
Hilarious.
Crypto bro, you know Pippa don't play. Best bunny so
Yes, she's
with
a
excellent taste. But Skybrows, Chewy Two-Face, Nyan tagging me chat. But there's still
This
no
is a reference
time
to
waste.
one of
I
his
don't
other
judge
music
and
videos
hate
called
still
Creamy
and
the
paste.
Slop.
Now his memes are just great. That bunny so face. Crypto creamy mooncharo, ruffle tomorrow. All that bloody borrow, shit straight bizarro. His channel's been cased, yeah, scene of a crime. Looks okay, I guess. Don't trust in his eyes.
This is another
Listen,
VTuber. I'll point out VTubers that I recognize or identified.
Fuck to a crypto.
Go Rogaine. Another reference to his music videos. That's Creamy Manjaro. That little
Bill Gates with chlamydia.
yes. I forget the name of that guy. Creamy Manjaro. This is from a stream she did of Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, if you remember that game.
No, offhand I don't.
So it's just a really hard game, and if you screw up, you lose a lot of progress.
Ooh. Damn.
And she was playing this game and screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
When she raged, she said, "I'm gonna shoot up a Walmart." Give me 1 second, I'll actually pull that up.
I'm gonna go blow up a Walmart. Hilarious. That's a very woman thing to do. I'm gonna go go shoot up a Walmart.
This is the this is what I was talking about.
I'm gonna fucking shoot up a
And
So yeah, that's what this is a reference to.
Oh god. And that's the game she was playing that she like screwed.
Like Bill Gates with chlamydia. Things alarming. Bunny ears, there's no charming. Jack Ripper Rabbit with the homicidal habit. Where's that wood chipper? 1 sec, let me grab it. Rebrand this mess, don't stand this pest. Right for picking, Latif big kicked in. Green run engine to the ash, fake cloud slashing, don't let 'em cash. Vehicles attacking your empire cracks, from bunny to nothing, your legacy lacks. Uncanny cannabis, extract and retain. Completely
Ugh, creepy.
just calling is plain, collecting VTubers like a Pokemon game.
That's a VTuber.
They're all
Oh,
just
yeah.
the same. If you know what I'm saying. Don't send it again.
The hell?
Don't send it again.
Oh, Rolex scopes?
That's Crybrows again. And I might have to slow this down, but I think you'll love this.
And it's kind of neat how she's fist fighting them.
So with that part,
Yeah, that right there. Yeah, the Rolex on the note.
look at this. He's
Oh,
not.
bad.
He's not fighting back.
He's trying to dodge, it looks like.
He didn't land any. Or he's not even trying to fight.
Yeah, he's just getting hit.
Dodging and taking hits. He likes it.
Damn. Yeah. It's like the first few strikes, yeah, it's like, okay, it looks like he's dodging, but after that, like, yeah, no, this guy's got nothing.
And then this is just a montage of VTubers and AI content creators.
Nice.
That's Nux.
Ah, I thought that was him, yeah.
And then Leaflet.
Nice.
Who's that?
Wait, is that, hold on. That's, the Scotsman's dog, ain't it?
No, that's supposed to be Hassan's dog.
Oh, Lord. Hilarious.
That guy with the book was Mr. Intellectual. I forget the name of this VTuber, but he's actually a veteran. So when he does like reactions, he comes at it from a veteran's perspective.
Oh, not
This
bad.
guy here.
Good shit.
That is Powder. She's in her Amelia. That's her Amelia avatar.
Oh, cool. I remember Amelia, yeah.
I don't know who that guy is. That is Ember Paradox. She does a lot of React content. She can be pretty good sometimes. I don't really like
Nice.
her audio quality though. This is a husband cut. I think you'll like the next one. Oh, yeah, this guy, I only know of it because his name is just weird as fuck. It's his name is Eustace the Useful, and
The
he's
fuck?
apparently a very interesting one to watch.
Huh. Like you from Where's the Power of the Dog? That's the fucking paperclip thing from
Yep.
Jesus, like 20 years ago.
That was Asmongold.
Put him in the face of the top, man. And he's charging up, but he's not doing nothing.
It's okay. It's okay.
This is so funny, but you can be you, and you can be one of those like super cool people. You gotta let
I
go
think
of
this is
your
from a
ego,
clip
and suddenly
for
you're
Pippa.
Fucking Leonardo da Vinci in your fucking drawings and your inventions and whatever the hell, you know?
Get your pip coin today.
Nice. What, she actually got her own cryptocurrency? That's funny.
No, I think that's not real. It was because she called him a crypto bro.
That's hilarious. God. Oh, I used to get into that stuff hardcore, and then I had to put money towards other things. Yeah.
I do have a bonus if you want to see that as well.
No, why the fuck
It's the
not?
Creamy Manjaro one.
Yeah. I'll have to look into how to make some of these videos like that, because I like the music. It's actually pretty damn neat. Oh. Whew. Yeah, I mean, hell.
This
once
is
they get
Cream of the Slop, which was referenced a few times. This is one I watched.
Cream of the Slop. Doesn't ring any bells.
It's not going to.
Okay. It's because I'm old.
I hope this is when Scoop joins us.
Oh, yeah.
Creamy man, Manjaro. Creamy man, creamy Manjaro. Oh, creamy man, Manjaro. Can't see me, creamy man.
That's
Can't
Mugglana.
see
That's Kirsha.
Say I spit so slop, but cream sits on the top. Don't click off, hey, just stop. It's full cream till you drop. Watch clankers, booties pop. Manjaro, just a goofy prop. Cream foams that doesn't flop. All
That's
this
brilliant.
algorithm's pop. It's the cream of the slop. Hit loops that never stop.
Billion is actually on hiatus.
Raise the scroll.
Yeah, it's Nux again.
Control the nonsense makes us whole real truth inside the volcano. Pole, let him ignite your soul. Yeah, that's the
You saw who that was, right?
That is Son's dog again.
Time I stole this strange attention hole. Now share to reach my goal. Creamy man, Jaro. Creamy man, climb him tomorrow. Steamy, creamy man, built like Apollo. Notice me, creamy man, must like and follow. With creamy man, some say he's hollow. Too spooky, creamy man, easy to swallow. Easy peasy, creamy man, lactose Picasso. Let me squeezy, creamy man, we're trapped in his lasso. He's creamy.
Dropped in his asshole.
That is hold on.
Who's the person that
So that right there is Hero Hay.
All right. I think you
He's
mentioned him before.
He's a VTuber now, but he's been doing this before. He got an avatar, and he does a lot of reaction and like drama content.
Oh, joy. I hate drama.
That's Rev Says Desu.
Oh, yeah. That's the chick that's actually a dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I heard that guy. a couple
Creamy
times.
man made of gelato. Seemingly
Oh, yeah, that's Chibi Doki.
Mhm.
creamy man made of gelato.
That's Chibi Doki. She's pretty funny.
I think you showed me that gal a couple times.
I don't think I have.
Seemingly creamy man, no one that we know.
That's the son, and that's Tim Pool.
No,
that was Evan.
Why chase the likes? Cause we're in sync. When punchlines land just right, we trade a wink, a lower link. Our tiny campfire light. Attention's rent for life on Earth. We pay it with a
That's Mr.
grin. We
Gundam.
live
He's pretty good. This is Neurosama. So the thing about Neurosama is that she's a AI VTuber.
Oh, that's creepy.
It's actually a lot funnier than you would think.
Huh.
I'll pull up a.
So that thing's not a human. It's an artificial intelligence.
Give me 1 second.
Oh, Lord. That sounds terrifying. Well, we're going to be out of a job soon. Replaced with robots. Mm. Oh, man.
Okay, this is it. I'm looking for the short. Oh, here it is. Okay, this is it. This is probably one of my favorite clips of her.
All right.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I need to restart you since you're using 50 gigabytes of RAM, and that's not going to be optimal.
Hold on, Vito. If you restart me, I swear to God, I'll come back and use 100 gigabytes of RAM, you little pretentious shit.
Pretentious little shit.
And the best part is, she has an evil twin.
Oh, Lord. Not surprised. Nice. Well, it's nice to show off some music we're not going to get in any fucking trouble for. That's quite humorous. I mean, shit, man, I might start using that crap for an intro and outro and call it a fucking day. Or when we get like a couple events under the company belt for this year, try and rehash some of those into some AI music video or some shit like that and just use that. Yeah. Although we'd have to try and make you an avatar person thing.
I'm probably not going to do that. And if I do, I might go the Rev Says Desu route.
Oh, maybe we could just take one of the like. Have you ever seen the anime Other Side Picnic?
That's so that is also Leaflet. She is a slime VTuber.
Oh, it's not screen sharing anymore. If you're playing the music video. Oh no, shit. Do we got technical difficulties?
Oh, I turned it off. I forgot. Oh well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what the fuck? It's okay, these things happen.
Oh well.
You can just re-screen share it if you want to finish the video. I was like, literally, like, wait, what? Where's the leaflet? What? Yeah. All right, there we go. Yeah. All right. Right about there.
Creamy Manjaro says the art, in fact, is you.
Yeah.
Creamy man, creamy man, creamy Manjaro. Creamy me, creamy man, creamy man, creamy Manjaro. Full creamy, creamy man, creamy man, creamy Manjaro. Can't see me, creamy man, his fellows the jello. So jiggly, so
So cheeky. That is Leaflet again. Like I said,
Okay.
she's a slime VTuber.
Oh, okay.
so jiggly, so jiggly. Song slaps bigly. Song slaps bigly. Song slaps bigly.
We made Donald Trump or Butte in gold and white with wings. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah, I'm liking the stuff I've seen from Skybros.
Hilarious. But as I was asking you earlier, have you ever seen the anime Other Side Picnic?
I have.
Okay.
I've read a fair amount of the manga too.
Oh shit! I'll have to get that. I didn't know it was a manga. My girlfriend and I found about actually.
It's also a light novel, so it's got pictures, and then it's also got less pictures.
Okay. All right. Nice. I heard about the light novel. I didn't know they had like a whole manga for it. That's awesome. But I forget what the fuck the girl's name is. The short ass one.
It's been way too long since I watched any of it.
No.
So.
But like no, like we get one of these AI videos going up somehow, figure out how the hell to do this shit. Get a budget or whatever. I'm thinking for your character, because it'd be funny as shit the short 14-year-old little girl that has the pump action Remington. That's like the one paying them for all the artifacts.
And like a toggle that pumps the shotgun.
Yeah, and just like puts you in like what, desert camo? That's what
There
I'm thinking.
is actually a horse girl VTuber that actually serves in the army.
Oh, interesting. Cavalry, I assume.
No,
Okay,
don't know
she
what
just has a thing for horses.
I don't know.
It's the army. Who the fuck knows? Oh Lord. Oh, interesting. Quite entertaining. Ooh. Oh. All right. Well, let's see here. What madness should we get into first? If we've had one hell of a week, Jesus.
I mentioned Iran.
Yeah, you've got Iran. If everyone I've seen so far is, I believe I still have the tab open for it. For the midterms, Alex Jones thinks that the president might be poisoned, assassinated, lit on fire, resurrected, and then killed again, or something insane like that.
Iran's been trying to do that, so
That might be why you put the merger thing out, and I was just like looking at it like, what the hell? I don't know. I think he's going to be in pretty decent health. I mean, the guy survived what? How many assassination attempts since he first started running in 2015? Like what? He's going on nearly 20 now? Like seriously, I think at this point, a cold's going to kill him. More likely than like another assassin or something. He's been shrugging them off like crazy. It's nuts. Then, yeah, we've got Iran. We've got Alex Jones's midterm madness prediction. Hammond, Indiana got the studio for the Chicago Bears. So that's going to be built. That finally went through.
Oh.
That one's well.
Are they going to be known as the Indiana Bears now?
Oh, I absolutely hope so. I find it funny as hell. I move out this way, and the Bears seem to have followed me now. Like here, I'll get to that one quick because it's decent. It's funny as hell.
Yeah, I've known the Bears have been trying to leave for a while.
Oh yeah, they basically it was okay. They're gonna get out of Chicago. They're gonna go to Arlington because that's where like their headquarters and all that is. That's where all their stuff is. But the problem that they've had is just the taxes. The taxes suck. So they're trying to get like a lower tax bracket, and they just have to fucking leave Illinois because no one's cutting them a good deal. They think they're too good for the Bears.
And Chicago also just wants them to stay in Soldier Field.
Yeah, you know, I'm saying Soldier Field, which I like Soldier Field, but it needs a lot of wrenching. It needs a lot of wrenching, and to accommodate as many people as they're trying to get, as huge as that place is, it needs to be huge, in my opinion. So it's like, okay, I get it, you know. It's like the whole reason why nobody wants to go to Cubs Park unless they want to catch AIDS, or at least it used to be the running joke. Then they replaced the toilet since everyone said, okay, now we're not going to get AIDS, we're going to get crabs because the toilet's required sitting. So, yeah. That, and I mean, the whole place was rusted and falling apart because they had places set where they were going to put all these medals and trophies and shit that they were going to get. And then by the time they actually got one, they didn't have a place to put it, and they had to ramshackle some shit together because everything else was like literally rusted. Had to throw it away. Had to give it away to some homeless guy so he would stop trying to break into the bathroom to go get AIDS and try and win a lawsuit or something.
Luckily, the Bills' new stadium is only moving next door.
Oh, nice. Well, technically the Bears are too. It's you know, right over the border in Hammond, so not too far. So
They're staying within the parking lot.
they're staying within the hilarious. That's good. That's funny. All right, let me see if I can get this thing to work. Share the screen. Share the screen again. All right, first.
Oh, what Buffalo Bills fans were doing during a 5-game win streak when they were on their way to the playoffs.
Oh, do tell.
So when the stadium was, or the new stadium was first being built, it was just a giant hole, and everyone called it the pit. You can see where this is going, can't you?
Yeah. Are we talking Fallout Pit or are we talking Mosh Pit?
Just a big hole in the ground.
Fucking just a big hole in the ground.
And do you know the reputation of Bills fans?
Beating the shit out of people just about as much as Bears fans.
No.
Okay, so they're not fist fighters.
Give me 1 second.
All right. Right. While you're digging that up.
I've got something.
Oh, you got it already? Oh, okay,
Yep.
darn.
Ready for this?
All right, let me switch back. Oh, Scoop came in finally. Yes,
hell
good.
Great to see you here.
Yeah.
You didn't want to miss this.
Let's go! Come on!
Yeah, we break tables.
Oh my god, that's
I got
funny.
good time, and I see what the hell was that?
I'm telling about how Bills fans jump through tables.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're just getting to how the Bears have followed me home,
Yeah.
and they're
And
complaining
so,
about the utility
and I was
bills.
telling him how first I was telling him about how Bills fans when they got the 5-game win streak, they were throwing Bills fans into the giant hole in the ground, which is where the stadium was, or the new stadium is supposed to go,
Oh, okay, beautiful.
and they called it feeding the pit.
Nice.
Because every time someone fell or was thrown into the pit, the Bills won.
Oh, okay, so it's like making a sacrifice to the gods of football. Got it.
Yes.
Oh Lord, that's hilarious.
That's very cool. Ugh.
I got one almost as good as that. You got to see the shit that that the mayor, like how he cried. Oh, good Lord. All right, where is it? Where is it? Here we go.
Is my face straight? Okay. All right.
Excuse me.
Straight face
Oh
here.
yeah, didn't Trump have his
The Bears belong
isn't Trump supposed to have his
on his-
State of
and
the Union?
I've said repeatedly that the door is
Tuesday.
always, for conversations, and
That's just yet.
Kevin Warren did call me yesterday. We didn't get a chance to connect, and I still firmly believe that their best position is in Chicago, and it's evidence. The evidence is clearly speaking for itself. Is my face straight?
It is not straight.
That's too funny.
Is my face straight, gentlemen?
No,
Yeah.
it's very crooked.
Fucking dying.
So
Yeah.
I didn't really get to watch it earlier. I wanted to mention it while it's still fresh in my head. Actual Justice Warrior had put up a video. Now he's I think on the North Shore of Queens from the way he was talking, because he had said how he had to drive like an hour and 15 minutes to get to the Green Acres Mall over by City Line, which, if you remember, when you came out here with Tara and you were visiting, and I told you welcome to New York City when we were over by Green Acres, because you cross into Queens right there, and that's when the road turns to complete shit, where you could hear when you guys could hear it over the radio.
Yeah,
and you felt it in the car.
Speaking out, and I'm like, oh, all right, we in Chicago already?
Yeah. So I'm guessing that actual Justice Warrior, he lives probably up on the North Shore if it takes him that long, because to cut across Queens is a nightmare. Think about this. For him to go from one side of the county to another took him an hour and 15 minutes.
Good God.
That's what that we're famous for that over here. But anyway, so a bunch of kids, a bunch of teenagers, I'm guessing that they were from Brooklyn or Queens. They decided to go and cross over City Line into Long Island and go to Green Acres Mall.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah, they got a rude awakening because they found out the hard way. You're dealing with the Nassau County Police. They don't play. There's a reason why we used to joke how Nassau County was Bloodhaven. Yeah. These cops basically softly beat the living shit out of these teenagers.
Oh, we got footage of that?
I'm sure it's on there. I could probably, if you give me a second, I'll look it up. But
yeah, go ahead and take your time, because we have an article that goes along with the mayor, just like going, okay, I'm going to try to cry.
All right, just bear with me.
All right, so Hammond
the
Bears.
reason the cameras.
Huh? What?
So if I'm having a beer, I had a long week.
Oh, yeah, no, don't worry if there's like some lag or nothing from that. Yeah, no, dude, go ahead and have a beer. It's all good.
All right.
But yeah, no, it's official from the Chicago Sun-Times. Hammond Bears team says Indiana site near Wolf Lake is now its main stadium focus. So they stopped short of committing to moving across the state line, while Illinois lawmakers are basically, crying. So the Hammond Bears, Indiana state legislators sure think it seems to be where Chicago's football team is headed. After taking another legislative step forward towards the state border Tuesday, though the Bears stopped short of committing to pulling up stakes from Illinois. So not just yet, but very close. An Indiana House Committee unanimously advanced legislation creating a stadium finance authority that would help the team build a dome in Northwest Indiana, a move that the team called the most meaningful step forward in a gridiron saga that has stretched on for more than 3 years. Because, yes, this has been ongoing.
It's really a longer story than that.
Oh, of course it is. Jesus, this has been going on for at least 10 years collectively, I'd say, roughly. Mm-hmm. But, yeah. Let's see here. Also,
because Chicago's incompetent and the Bears just suck.
Oh yeah, I mean, Jesus. Here, if you're worried about our lack of competency here, allow me to play the mayor again. Oh God. Yeah, where is he? Yeah. Does this look like competency?
Okay. All right, keep a straight face here. The Bears belong in the city of Chicago.
I repeat that.
Is my face straight? Okay. All right, keep a straight face here.
Competency, just competency. Yeah. I think he's failing on that competency part there, man. Does that look like a competent man to you?
Totally.
He's got to ask if he's looking at the right camera. It's not like there's lights attached to these things that tell you, hey, this one's on, that one's off, this one's on, that one's off, that one's on, that one's off. Which camera am I looking at, guys? Is it the green one or the red one? Oh. Oh, God.
Your thoughts, Scoop?
Well, the man's an idiot. We didn't need actual footage to prove it, but yeah, he's an idiot.
Oh, Lord. Oh, it gets even better. Here, let me see if I got the one from the other news channel. I think I pulled that up here somewhere. Where is it? Oh, it's somewhere in these. Okay. No, I do not have it. Darn, I'd actually have to go hunting for the thing.
All right, bear with me.
All right, oh, take your time, man. Let's see here.
Oh, this is actually funny. Oh, this is actually so funny. Oh, nice, nice, nice. All right, hold on. Oh, I got a gem for you.
You got it?
Yeah. Oh, no, it's even better than I had thought. what it is. It's a couple of kids up in the Bronx, and they were the ones that organized this shit. And they must have thought that Long Island is, how it was 40 years ago or so, where it was all soft suburban kids. They didn't realize that Long Island is now just as urban as the rest of the island. Like, it's just, yeah. So, and the cops don't fuck around. So, yeah, they found out the hard way. So, give me 2 seconds. You're going to love this.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
I'm holding on.
Come
All right,
on.
cool. All right. I'm sending that to you. And Crossfire, I'm going to send it to you also, just in case for whatever reason Burnside has a problem with the links.
It's not a problem with the links. It's for whatever reason on this computer, I can't open Discord. I don't know what the fuck the problem is with it. I tried like 10 times before starting this show. It's just not cooperating. That's why I've had to have everyone email me everything.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, so if you got it, just go ahead and screen share it. This thing should allow you to where you can do that. Crossfire's been doing it all night for the music.
Yeah, this is going to be good.
Cream Manjaro.
It slaps bigly. Fucking dying. Jesus.
I still like the Pippa one better.
That one was funny. She's just beating the hell out of this guy, and he's not even fighting back. And she's just like, it's okay to be gay, man.
No, it's okay to be gay.
Because
remember, in the start of the video, she was calling him fake and gay.
Hilarious. All right. Well, Scoop's trying to troubleshoot that one here. Here's the newscast about.
Here we go. Got it.
You finally got it?
Yeah. Just bear with me while it's...
The mall takeovers happening around Long Island. Let's go. First things first. President's Day, over 18 teens were arrested for trying to take over the Bay Plaza Mall. From trashing local businesses to running around the mall and going absolutely berserk, there were over 18 arrests made during this incident. But it didn't stop here. Later, a flyer was posted to raid the Green Acres Mall in Valley Stream, Long Island. And on Thursday, February 19th, that happened. Hundreds of teens congregated outside of this mall, leading to over 8 arrests during the entire incident. And now it's getting even crazier. Flyers to raid the Semania Mall and the Roosevelt Field Mall happening today. But the Nassau County Police are not taking this lightly. They have responded by posting a flyer of their own saying if anyone tries to participate in these mall takeovers, they will respond with the full extent of the law. And these takeovers are only getting more and more popular as social media accounts are spawning, trying to start more takeovers, trying to start more congregations, and just overall rile up the teens and the youth. Only time will tell if these takeovers are going to be as dramatic and dangerous as the previous ones. Are you keeping up to date with these takeovers? What do we think of this? Here's everything you should know about the mall takeover.
I'm actually impressed by how cleaned up the Bronx is. It used to be real shit up there. Yeah. So, all right. So check this out. We're going to go first with News 12. Rich Barabi with his awesome hair.
9 people are under arrest after hundreds of teens tried to overrun a mall in Nassau County.
Now, this gathering is part of what's being called teen takeovers on social media. This morning, we have new details now on those arrested. News of Long Island, Jonathan Gordon is at the Green Acres Mall in Valley Stream. Before we're learning about all of it. Jonathan.
Well, right now, things very calm and quiet here at the mall. It was a much different scene here yesterday as all of this was unfolding. We now know from Nassau County Police that of the 9 arrests they made, all of them involved teens. Take a look at some of this video. It just shows the absolute chaos that unfolded here at the Green Acres Mall in Valley Stream. What you saw here is that here in Valley Stream, what you saw is from citizen video is that police were pulling, basically taking into custody these young people, these teens, as other young people are trying to get inside of the mall here. And it really was
they brought out the paddy wagons
event that was spreading across social media, not just here on Long Island, but really in a broader sense as well. Earlier this week, there were arrests made at a mall in the Bronx. You had another issue as well where you had in the Hudson Valley, police were on high alert because of what was being spread on social media. So a lot of concern, and then things unfolded here as well. What we know from police is that no one was injured, but shoppers inside do tell us that while they were inside and things were sort of unfolding, stores were being shut down as police worked to get things under control. Now, we reached out to Green Acres management for a comment not only yesterday, but as well again this morning. We've not yet heard back.
Yeah, they don't fuck around. Like, I'm pretty sure WPIX Channel 11, they used to be the awesome movie station back in the day. Yeah, they probably got better footage.
Vanessa, good morning. And Nassau County Police announcing at least 9 arrests here yesterday, and video captures the chaos as people were just confused, on edge, as throngs of teens began arriving into the mall here at Green Acres unsupervised. One woman saying she and her daughter took shelter in a store.
We got locked in Akira for like 2 hours because we couldn't do anything because they said it was a chaos. There was a riot going outside. It's scary because you don't know what's going on outside. I don't know what's going on with my car. I don't know what's going in.
Is that woman AI generated?
Citizen video showing one of those large swaths of young people swarming and Nassau County Police arriving to meet them at the Green Acres. They're told an unauthorized gathering was promoted on social media. Pix 11 obtaining a flyer announcing the teen takeover starting at 3 p.m. Thursday and only ending once they're forced out. And video shows authorities appearing to detain some young people in that crowd. Green Acres Mall security, Nassau Police remaining on scene for hours Thursday, inside and outside the mall. Some shoppers saying kids were only allowed into stores with a parent. One man saying the situation here was upsetting.
That's going on here with all these kids running up and down all over the place. I think some parents need to really start taking, more steps to know what their kids are up to.
Today, Junior, with getting it out your mouth.
And back live, all this happening too as local police are tracking even more announcements of teen takeovers on social media here. A takeover at the Bronx's Bay Plaza Mall on Monday resulted in at least 18 arrests there. And authorities in Mount Vernon, New Rochelle, and Yonkers are warning too that should any teens try that in their jurisdictions, they will be met with patrols.
Yeah, so now I wanted you guys to see that because you got to see this. This is hysterical because it's one of the kids' TikTokers. One of his TikToks, and
I love Actual Justice Warrior.
Hell yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's from up in like I said, he's over in Queens. And where is it? I just seen it earlier. Oh, here it is. It was the one about Mamdani, and just the beginning of it. It shows what happens. Oh, here it is. The teens riot. Yeah, this is hysterical because these kids, like I said, they came out here from Brooklyn and Queens. They did not understand what they were dealing with.
Can't go in the mall. No. Wait, what's it because of the? It's because of the event, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Them security guards was not stopping nothing, nigga. We still got in. We in this bitch. They all hot. They watching us. Oh my. Nah, why they close every store in this? Oh, nah, they wild. Back up the horses and shit. Oh.
Yeah, there.
So that was footage from a TikTok account documenting from.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. God damn it. All right, let them down.
Yeah, I thought you two would get a kick out of that.
Fucking cavalry cops.
Yeah, bro, they do not fuck around. When I told you what happened with the Black Lives Matter riots, the cops intercepted BLM, and they're like, "Are you trying to break up our march?" They're like, "No, we're here to protect you." And they go, "What do you mean?" And then they found out the hard way. Bro, like back 40 years ago, everyone who was in Brooklyn, Queens, up the Bronx, they all had the white flight because the city tore down all the projects. So everyone moved into the neighborhoods, and that's what destroyed them. So they all moved east into Nassau County and Western Suffolk. But so when Black Lives Matters tried to march, a lot of these people who were like, in their 60s were catching flashbacks of when they were like young and their neighborhoods fell. So they stopped them when they tried to march in my neighborhood. Like the police intercepted them and they're like, we're going to march through this neighborhood. And they're like, no, you're not. They said, look, we've gotten over 7,000 calls in 3 hours. And they told us if you try to march through their neighborhood, they're going to open fire on you. And so they all looked at each other and their eyes got all big. They're like, you're going to march with us, right? They're like, no, we're not putting ourselves in danger like that. And so they're like, you have to do something. Can't you arrest them? And the cops looked at them and they said, I don't think you understand. We got over 7,000 calls non-related to each other, 7,000 individual calls within a 3-hour span. He said, we're still getting these calls. I said, wait, I don't know what the count was, but when I left the station, that's what it was at. They said they've made it very clear they will open fire on you. Well, can't you do something? They said, no. They said, we don't have the manpower to stop thousands of people who are armed. They said every one of these people is legally armed. They have rifles. They have handguns. They said they're allowed to own them. They look at this. Every call was, they said, almost identical in what they said. They're invading our neighborhood, so we're going to defend it. And so Black Lives Matter literally made a U-turn when they got to my neighborhood and turned around and went back up the highway because they said, no, they can't go. They're not allowed in here. We'll shoot them. And so these kids don't understand. Like these are they're going into a neighborhood. They already drove these people out of their neighborhoods onto the island, and now they're trying to invade the island. It's not going to go well for them. There's actually a video that's famous. Black Lives Matter tried to go through Merrick, which is a Jew neighborhood. Old Jews, like people 60 and up, met them they met them with like bats and shovels, and they had pitchforks. They're like, "You're not coming through Merrick." They're like, "You're." I remember you mentioning that before. Yeah. Yeah. Like, but you're supposed to, be on our side. They're like, "We're on our side. This is our neighborhood. Go around." Yeah, they did not screw around. So, yeah, this is gonna not bode well for these kids. Like, especially if they go further out onto the island, if they come out into Suffolk County and they try to pull this shit like at the South Shore Mall. There was a movie that came out about 20-something years ago called Farmingville. Farmingville is out east. It's all the way out east. It's where all the agricultural shit is. And an illegal was, I guess, going around sexually assaulting young girls. So the Hicks out east just took it upon themselves to go into the Home Depot parking lots and just beat the living shit out of all the illegals that were waiting for work. Yeah, and they made a movie about it. Farmingville. So
ice before ice.
I'm not surprised.
It was literally just like, a couple of guys banged off of work and they're like, did you hear what happened to so-and-so's daughter? No, what happened? Oh, one of these illegals tried to rape her. Really? Oh, okay. You know where he was from? Well, we think we seen him up at Home Depot. Oh, okay. So like all these pickup trucks full of rednecks just pulled up into the parking lot, got out and just started beating the shit out of all the illegals that were waiting for work. And it made the papers. So, and they made a movie out of it. Some bleeding heart came out here from Manhattan and he went out east and, he's defending the poor Hispanics from the racist whites. And it's like, I hate saying it, but you're letting in all the undocumented. Even back then, this is where the crime comes from.
Should we get to Iran finding out?
Yeah. What's this now?
As well as the history lessons?
Sure. What's up with Iran? What happened with Iran?
Okay, so you know how Trump came out saying like, "Oh, let's negotiate."
Okay, I'm listening.
Yeah, go ahead and get the screen share going with that.
This is what we're bringing to the negotiation.
These are our diplomatic assets.
Let me blow this screen up bigger so I can see this better.
Yeah, get your spectacles on.
No, not my spectacles. It's just I had the screen minimized. Oh, okay. Wow.
And that's just from a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's reported, I think, a third of our Navy is there now.
Oh, joy.
And give me 1 second and I'll start the history lesson.
All right.
We got Professor Crossfire today.
Hell yeah. That's one of the reasons why he's our golden guest. He's young. He has a brain between his ears. And in regards to situations and historical events,
Okay, so this is the Fat Electrician. He's a very good
I
content
love
creator.
that guy.
Yeah,
He's fucking awesome. Him and
so
Donut.
this is a little bit about our Navy in general,
Mhm.
and what we've done in the Middle East previously. And then the next video I'm going to show is the last time Iran touched our boats.
It's that time that pirates kept messing with American ships. George Washington founded the United States Navy to do something about it. Yeah, the United States Navy was founded for the sole reason of hunting pirates. Today we're talking about the Barbary Wars. Ladies and gentlemen, it is pretty much an ongoing internet joke that you do not mess with America's boats, you know, because of Operation Praying Mantis, that time that America decided they were going to sink half of Iran's Navy in like 8 hours. And Vietnam and World War II and World War I and the Spanish-American War and the War of 1812. I guess if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to tell you this is the origin story of why you don't mess with America's boats. But first, a word from our sponsor, because this video is brought to you by my favorite underwear company, Sheath Technology. And I know just put their phone in my pocket next time we go somewhere. Only rating all the smaller nations. Okay, it's like Walmart, Target, and Amazon getting together, encouraging shoplifting, knowing that they can shoulder the financial burden, but it puts all the other mom and pop stores out of business and they become the only ones selling goods. Except instead of retail stores, we're talking about entire nations. This goes on for literally hundreds of years, but America is still part of the British Empire, so they fall under their umbrella of protection, so it's never an issue. That is until the American Revolution started on April 19th, 1775, with the shot heard around the world, the Battle of Lexington and Concord, and the famous story of a 78-year-old veteran going out into his front yard and shooting 3 redcoats back to Boston, sending the message for all of America that the British Empire should get off of our lawn. Fast forward, 1783, America wins the Revolutionary War, officially becoming its own country, and all of America's merchant vessels start flying the old red, white, and blue. And pretty much immediately, 1784, one of America's merchant vessels is captured by Barbary pirates from the country of Morocco. As an act of good faith for a new nation, Spain actually pays off the pirates, gets the American vessel and all of its crew back, returns it to America, and then advises the American government, hey, you guys should start paying these guys off too. That's what all the big nations are doing. At which point, America's minister to France, a guy by the name of Thomas Jefferson, chimes in and he's like, no, absolutely not. I'm going to go talk to him. Now, obviously, I'm paraphrasing here, but basically, Thomas Jefferson rolls up and he's like, hey, don't ever fuck with my boats ever again or else. At which point, the Sultan of Morocco is like, I'm sorry, who are you? I'm Thomas Jefferson, one of the founding fathers of America. You know, we just kicked the British out of our entire country. We're our own thing now. I'm sorry, you fucking pilgrims did what now? We beat the British war, and now we are our own country. You mean to tell me that a bunch of colonial farmers with muskets went toe-to-toe with the largest military on the planet that is so good at war that they can literally wear high-vis red coats the entire time and still win, and you beat them? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm telling you. I mean, yeah, I could probably just leave your boats alone from now on. That historically seems like it's going to be a really good idea. And that is the story of how Morocco came to be the first country to recognize America as its own sovereign nation by signing the Moroccan-American Treaty of Peace and Friendship, which is the first and longest lasting peace treaty in American history. At which point Thomas Jefferson is like, wow, that actually worked out perfect. I'm going to go to the other 3 Barbary states and tell them the same thing now. But of course, there's going to be a catch with that. You see, there's 4 Barbary states, but Morocco's the only one that's actually truly independent, and the other 3 are just subservient branches of the Ottoman Empire. So Thomas Jefferson and John Adams go to talk to the ambassador of Tripoli, and they're like, hey, can all the Ottoman Barbary states leave our boats alone? At which point the ambassador informs them, absolutely not. You see, we're part of the Ottoman Empire. We don't need to listen to you. We're not scared of you guys. And it is our official stance that, and I quote, it was written in the Quran that all nations which had not acknowledged the prophet were sinners who it was the right and duty of the faithful to plunder and enslave. You know, unless they give us money, of course. Everything's got a price, apparently. So Thomas Jefferson is like, well, okay, we're going to...
So yeah, the Navy was literally started because
Pirates.
Islamic extremist pirates.
Oh, lovely.
war then. And that's when John Adams is like, whoa, 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 calm down. Let's just pay the tribute so that our ships can be fine. We already disbanded the Continental Navy after winning the Revolutionary War. We don't have a navy to fight these guys. We just have to give them the money. So that's what happened. For the next 8 to 10 years, America would pay tribute every year to these 3 remaining Barbary states. And every year they wanted more and more money. And eventually even that wasn't enough because Algiers began attacking American vessels anyways. Okay, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to tell you that for the first time in American history, somebody has fucked with one of America's boats and they're not immediately sorry about it. Yet. The president at the time, George Washington, goes to Congress and pretty much tells them what's going to happen because at this point in time, George Washington is basically the king of America. Nobody actually knows if he's going to step down from presidency or not. So he's like, hey, guess what? You guys are going to pass the Naval Act of 1794, establishing the United States Navy. And at the very top of that document, it very clearly states that the purpose we are building the United States Navy is so that we can combat Algerine corsairs, which is just a fancy word for state-funded pirates. Yes, I'm telling you that the founding document of the most powerful navy the world has ever seen at the top specifically states the sole reason for their creation is to hunt down and destroy pirates that had the audacity to fuck with one of America's ships. We've officially entered the find out portion of the story. America immediately commissions the building of 6 enormous frigates covered in guns to go fight these pirates. Fast forward to when the frigates are done, it takes a couple years. It is now 1798, and George Washington has decided to step down from power, allowing for an election to happen, and we are now into the second president of America, John Adams. And John Adams decides
grabbing a refill.
He would rather keep paying tribute. America just created the Navy, spent $1 million creating all these frigates, and now John Adams isn't going to use them for their intended purpose. Obviously, a lot of people are upset, including his own vice president, Thomas Jefferson. So Thomas Jefferson, the vice president at the time, immediately begins campaigning to run against the sitting president in the next election. And one of his biggest platforms is that he is going to go fight these pirates rather than pay them tribute. And his slogan for this is, and I quote, "Millions in defense before a cent in tribute." Okay, just so we're clear, Thomas Jefferson's platform for running for president is I'm going to spend millions of dollars in defense, which might as well be hundreds of billions of dollars at that point, because America no longer negotiates with terrorists. And I'm pretty sure my high school English teacher would refer to this as foreshadowing. So Thomas Jefferson wins the election. The entire world finds out that he's going to be the 3rd president of the United States of America. And then on March 4th, 1801, the day of his inauguration, he receives a letter from Yusuf Karmanali, the Pasha of Tripoli. If you don't know, Pasha is like the dictator, the king, the president, the main dude in charge. And at this point, Thomas Jefferson, the guy who just ran an entire presidential campaign on, I'm going to go fight pirates, is thinking in his head, like, maybe this guy found out that I'm about to send a navy over there to beat him up, and he's going to send an apology. Maybe he wants to sign a peace treaty like Morocco did. This is already working out great. I might not even have to send my navy over there. He opens the letter, and Pasha Yusuf Karmanali has decided that he is going to poke the Pilgrim King because he is now demanding that because of the new administration, the United States owes him an extra $225,000 in tribute. And Thomas Jefferson is pissed.
You're trying to get crazy with this.
Originally, Thomas Jefferson was going to have to go to Congress, get permission to activate the Navy to send him over there to fight these pirates, but not now. He's so mad we're activating the Rainbow Shortcut to ass-whooping land, and Pasha Yusuf is going to have some consequences immediately because he's sending the Navy today. But like I said, it takes a literal act of Congress to send the U.S. Navy over there on a military mission. So Thomas Jefferson is like, that's fine. We just won't send them on a military mission. Fill up one of our frigates with a bunch of gifts and peace offerings for Pasha Yusuf, and then give it a nice, healthy escort of other frigates to defend it and send them on their merry way to deliver the gifts. Right after he gives the commander of the United States Navy the standing order that he is also to defend any American citizen or ship from any potential aggression. Not aggression, potential aggression. If he thinks that somebody else might be thinking about doing something aggressive,
take him out, take him down, do your Victor, your stuff.
So the Navy set sail. They're gone. They're en route. Thomas Jefferson's sitting in his office, and he comes to the realization, man, I'm pretty sure these pirates are going to attack him. But if they don't, they're actually going to end up giving Pasha What's-His-Nuts a bunch of these gifts. And I can't have it. So he whips out the old quill and parchment. He writes a letter back and sends that off. And that letter basically reads, hey, America's done giving you tribute for the rest of forever. F off. And obviously the letter makes it there first, at which point Pasha goes to the American consulate building and chops down the flagpole with the American flag on it, which in that part of the world is how you declare war. So the U.S. Navy shows up off the coast of the Barbary States. The pirates attack them because they've already declared war. The U.S. Navy defends themselves. Word gets back to America. Congress then is like, oh, hey, we're at war. We're going to go ahead and give Thomas Jefferson permission to use the United States Marine Corps at his discretion. And this is why, to this day, the United States Marine Corps is the only branch of the U.S. military that can be sent and deployed anywhere in the world without congressional approval. So for the next 2 years, the U.S. Navy and the Marine Corps set up a naval
You can see where
blockade
this
just
is
go on
going,
a
can't
pirate
you?
hunting extravaganza until October.
Deploying musket
or
cranators to
the
go fight
USS
pirates.
Philadelphia would get hung up on an uncharted reef
the shores of
right off the coast
Tripoli.
of Tripoli. The pirates seize this opportunity. They attack the USS Philadelphia, board it, take the crew hostage, and then over the next couple months, they were able to repair it enough to get it back into the harbor at Tripoli, where they then anchored it in place and used it as fixed artillery because it had way more guns than any other vessel they had. Cue our first main character, Stephen Decatur, the commander of the USS Enterprise, America's unofficial flagship. He decides that he's going to don his plot armor, take the USS Enterprise out, and acquire himself a pirate ship, which he does. He then takes that pirate ship and the USS Enterprise and sails both of them to Sicily, where he hires 5 Sicilian mercenaries that know how to speak Arabic. They then sail back to Tripoli, where Decatur and 80 Marines are going to go below deck of this pirate ship, which has now been christened the USS Intrepid, as the 5 mercenaries are going to sail directly into the heart of the harbor, pretending to be Barbary pirates. They then go directly to the USS Philadelphia. 80 Marines and Stephen Decatur run out, kill the entire crew of pirates that are on the USS Philadelphia, and reclaim it. Unfortunately, the USS Philadelphia is too damaged to actually be used as a ship ever again, at which point Stephen Decatur decides, fine, we're just going to burn the entire thing to the ground because if we can't have it, nobody can.
Hell yeah.
Deprive the enemy of nice things. I'm pretty sure Sun Tzu said that. So that's exactly what they do. They light the USS Philadelphia on fire. They're positive it can't be put out, and then they bounce. Not a single American is injured, and Stephen Decatur is hailed a hero because he has now led what is, in my opinion, America's first special operations mission. So now that that's taken care of, the problem at hand is that the crew of the USS Philadelphia is still being held hostage by the Barbary pirates, and they want a ton of money in exchange for them back. However, America no longer negotiates with terrorists, and that's not an option. Cue our next 2 main characters, William Eaton and Presley O'Bannon. And before you ask, yes, Presley O'Bannon, as in the USS O'Bannon, the Fletcher-class destroyer from World War II that sank a Japanese submarine with potatoes. So they go in and they pitch their idea of how they're going to get the crew of the USS Philadelphia back, and it is, by every definition, a special operations mission. Basically, they want to take themselves, 2 dudes, plus 6 Marines for a total of 8 guys, and they're going to get dropped off in Egypt, because in Egypt is Yusuf Karmali's brother that is living in exile because Yusuf kicked him out because he is technically the rightful heir of Tripoli. So they're going to get that guy and all the buddies that are loyal to him, like 500 men, and then they're going to march them through the desert to Derna, where they are then going to use them to fight and take over the city and exchange the city for the crew of the USS Philadelphia. And upon hearing this ridiculous plan, the U.S. military leadership is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You want to take a small contingency of men, be dropped off in a foreign country, meet up with a rebel leader who already has a bunch of men, and then convince him that you're going to help him overthrow a current dictator, and then he can be the new dictator. And basically, we're using other people to fight other people that we don't like to benefit us. And Presley O'Bannon and Eaton are like, yeah, that's pretty much exactly it. And the government is like, this is a terrific idea. I mean, we're probably never, ever going to do anything like this ever again. And we're not going to have an entire branch of special forces that specializes in it. Sorry. Anyways, that's exactly what they do. They get dropped off in Egypt. They track down Hamet. They're like, hey, you want to go overthrow your brother? Cool. Grab your guys. Let's go. Somewhere along the way, the Marines also picked up 50 Greek mercenaries as they all began marching 500 miles through the Libyan desert to get back to the Tripolitan coast. And this march through the desert takes 50 days, and it is a complete shit show because somewhere along the way, they start running low on supplies and they have to start rationing. And then some people get mad. There's accusations because the Greek guys are Christian, Hamet's guys are Muslims. there's fighting amongst themselves, and there's these 8 Marines standing in the middle, desperately trying to keep them from killing each other as they march through the desert. So despite multiple mutiny attempts and a ton of fights, the Marines were able to keep this group together enough to make it through the Libyan desert till they arrived at the coastal city of Bamba. Once they get there, they meet up with the USS Argus that gives them a bunch of supplies so they can start eating food again, and they give enough money to pay off the Greek mercenaries. Then Eaton decides that he's going to send a letter over to the governor of Derna right next door, because remember, we can't attack unless they're potentially aggressive. Okay, so he sends a letter and is basically like, hey, I'm going to march my army through the middle of your town to go kill your boss on my way to Tripoli. Can I have some safe passage and maybe some food? The governor of Derna sends a letter back that says, my head or yours, which sounds potentially aggressive enough. So they begin making the plan for the ground attack. Hamet and his men are going to take the governor's palace, and the Marines and the Greek mercenaries are going to take out the harbor fortress. But to do that, they're going to need a cannon from the USS Argus, so they're going to meet up with it, go get this cannon, and prepare for their attack. Cut back to Stephen Decatur. While all this has been happening, there's still been a naval battle in the Mediterranean the entire time, and Stephen Decatur is on an absolute rampage, because after he captured his first pirate ship, he would receive word that his brother, James Decatur, had been mortally wounded by one of the pirate ship's captains, who was pretending to surrender before shooting his younger brother. Upon hearing this, Decatur immediately gives command of the new captured vessel to one of his men, leaves a couple guys with him, and takes off to track down this pirate ship that just killed his brother. So they chase down this pirate ship, they pull up right next to it, and before the crew has time to do any boarding procedures, you know, like break out the planks, tie some ropes to the other ship, all that stuff you see in the movies, Stephen Decatur jumps into the enemy ship and starts killing pirates immediately. 9 Marines, seeing that happen, are like, oh shit, we're doing this. So they jump onto the pirate ship too and start throwing down, at which point the pirate ship veers off and breaks away from Decatur's ship. It is now 9 Marines and Stephen Decatur versus over 30 pirates on this vessel, and 30 is not going to be enough. Stephen Decatur kills multiple pirates, including the captain that had slain his brother, officially avenging his brother's death, capturing that vessel as well. But he is still absolutely furious that his brother died, and he continues to go on a rampage, capturing another pirate ship and destroying 3 more over the coming weeks. Cut back to the men on the ground. Eaton and O'Bannon have been getting their battle plan ready this entire time. They just had their men go get a cannon off the USS Argus because they really need this cannon if they're going to be able to pull off this mission. So they're ready to attack. The U.S. Navy gets into formation, and they are going to bombard the entire city of Derna while they launch this attack. Despite that, there's over 2,000 men loyal to Pasha Yusuf that are going to defend it, and they are heavily outnumbered. So Navy starts bombarding the shore. Hamet and his men take off to go attack the governor's palace, and Eaton, O'Bannon, the Marines, and the Greek mercenaries begin launching their attack on the harbor fortress. They open up with the initial cannon fire, which is going to be vital to be able to break through the enemy lines and establish their foothold.
Guess how
They
useful it
fire
is.
the cannon. As they go to reload and fire it again, they realize that they had accidentally forgot to take the ramrod out of the cannon and shot that at the enemy too. Now the cannon's completely out, and they're kind of like, oh shit, what do we do? What do we do? And Presley O'Bannon just charges into battle as the other Marines follow behind him and the Greek mercenaries behind them. They attack so quickly and so violently that they're able to overrun the entire enemy fortress before anybody really knows what's going on. And Presley O'Bannon becomes the first American ever to raise the Star-Spangled Banner over a foreign battlefield. This battle, the taking of the Tripolitan coastal city of Derna, is enshrined in Marine Corps history in the Marine Corps hymn with the line, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. And it is also where the Marine Corps would get their first nickname ever, because the 7 Marines present for this battle fought so hard and so violently that they simply became known as the Leathernecks, referring to the leather collar that they wore around their neck to protect it from slashes from pirate swords. So Yusuf's men end up getting beaten back and are forced to retreat to Tripoli, at which point the Marines, the Greeks, and Hamet and his men all consolidate, figure out what happened. Hamet and his men were able to take over the governor's palace, and after the taking of the city of Derna, Hamet awards his very own sword to Presley O'Bannon as a gift for how valiantly he fought in battle. And this is the Mameluke sword, the same sword that is on the Marine Corps uniform today. So now Yusuf consolidates his military, sends an enormous army back to Derna to try to take it back over, and they're kind of just sitting on the outskirts of the city, waiting for...
That's specifically the part I wanted to show for that one. But there is something that is more
modern.
The last time that Iran
Didn't we almost like liquidate their navy like toilet paper during diarrhea season?
1 second on that.
Oh. Yeah. Pretty sure we pretty much destroyed them when they pissed us off.
We kind of have a penchant for doing that.
Well, people should not have a penchant for pissing us off.
Yeah, you'd think.
US Navy got upset and destroyed half of Iran's entire naval fleet in a single 8-hour workday. Today we're talking about Operation Praying Mantis. But real quick, this video is sponsored by Zydax Custom Gaming PCs. They are all built right here in America.
Yeah, make sure you skip that as always.
1 second, everything's fine. The next second, there's a operation is out there escorting a Kuwaiti oil tanker in international waters. And yeah, America then proceeds to assemble the largest naval convoy operation since World War II. The quarter of oil that wasn't really part of OPEC, meaning that they were selling oil on the globe, backing Iraq through this entire war for the past 7 years. Iraq's got a weak navy. We're going to wipe out Iraq decided to invade Iran. Why? Don't really care. Not pertinent to the story. However, at the end of that war, Iran decides, hey, we're going to pull a page out of the old Art of War by Sun Tzu. We're going to cut off the enemy supply lines, deprive the enemy of nice things. It's going to work out great. Iraq's got a weak navy. We're going to wipe out their navy. And then every time they send out an oil tanker through the Persian Gulf, we're going to blow that up. So they can't sell any liquid dinosaur. They can't make any money. They go broke. We win the war. Hooray. It's a solid plan. So they do exactly that. Then Kuwait comes out of left field and they're like, hey, we've been financially backing Iraq through this entire war for the past 7 years. We need to make sure they win so we can get our money back. So we're going to go ahead and let Iraq use our oil tankers to export oil. So Iran is like, well, that's an easy problem to solve. I'll just blow up all the Kuwaiti oil tankers as well, which is exactly what they do. But here's the catch. Kuwait at this point in time is like the one major exporter of oil that wasn't really part of OPEC, meaning that they were selling oil on the global market significantly cheaper than everybody else, driving down the entire oil market. And now that their oil tankers are getting blown up as well, it means that Kuwait can no longer sell oil on the cheap, meaning that Iran has now inadvertently committed the cardinal sin of the late 20th century, raising gas prices. Now the entire Western world looks over the Persian Gulf like, the fuck? The ghost of Sun Tzu's sitting there shaking his head like, that's the one exception. I would have messed with any supply line except for that one, because we all know what happens next.
All others we track.
Yeah, America then proceeds to assemble the largest naval convoy operation since World War II, send them into the Persian Gulf to protect Kuwaiti oil tankers. It is at this moment that Iran should have been like, well, that's unfortunate. Time to figure out plan B, because this obviously is not going to work out. However, they decide that they're going to double down. What they're going to do is they're going to take a bunch of magnetic underwater mines, and they're just going to spread them out all over the Persian Gulf in international waters, and that's not going to have any consequences at all. So fast forward, April 14th, 1988, the USS Samuel B. Roberts, a guided missile frigate, which is basically brand new at this point. This is like its first big operation, is out there escorting a Kuwaiti oil tanker, and it runs into a minefield, hits a mine, blows up the keel of the ship. The keel is this bottom part right here. It like supports and stabilizes the structure of the entire ship, and it gets blown completely in half. At this point, the only thing holding this boat together is the actual deck. 1 second, everything's fine. The next second, there's a 15-foot wide hole in the bottom of your ship. Everything's on fire and water is rushing in. The USS Samuel B. Roberts took on half of its weight in water in the first minute. This is a catastrophic amount of damage that would sink 99% of ships, but as fate would have it, the crew of the USS Samuel B. Roberts had already been winning competitions for having the best damage control crew in the Navy. So the entire crew gets to work. They're putting out fires. They're plugging holes. They're literally cinching the hull together with steel cables, trying to stabilize it, because the only thing holding it together is a deck at this point. Over the course of the next 5 hours, the entire crew fights their ass off and somehow manages to get the situation under control and limp the ship all the way back to Dubai, where they can get it to a port. And the most incredible
They
part
got
of all of
this
it,
from
not a
where?
single American was
Dubai?
Persian Gulf.
Isn't that like 100 miles?
I don't know.
That's like 100 something miles. That's fucking hard. How the hell did they manage that?
Don't question the U.S. Navy.
killed.
Holy
Only
shit.
10 men were injured during the fire and the initial explosion. So the crew survived. The boat's basically completely destroyed. Then America sends in an underwater crew, figure out what happened. They find the remnants of the mine. They check out the other mines. Yep, they're Iranian. At this point, now somebody has to inform the president because this is a big deal. And the president at this point in time is, let me check my notes, fucking Ronald Reagan.
I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
So they go ahead and they brief Ronald Reagan on everything that happened. He's super happy that everybody survived. And he's like, okay, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to issue a proportional response. And what the U.S. Navy heard was, all right, so here's the plan. Iran currently has 3 oil rigs in the Persian Gulf that are not being used for drilling oil, but as military bases for their naval operations. So the U.S. Navy is going to go ahead and take out all 3 of those. Now, I don't really know what the guided missile frigate to oil rig exchange ratio is, but we're going to go ahead and err on the side of caution and say that it's not quite proportional enough yet. So Iran also really only has like 2 modern naval vessels. That's the Iranian frigate Sahand and the Iranian frigate Sabatland. They're going to go ahead and take out at least one of those, maybe both. We'll see how proportional they want to get. And then by the time they get all that done, that should be a nice 8-hour work day. It'll be time to clock out and go get some ice cream. So in order to get all this done by quitting time, they're going to go ahead and establish 3 different surface attack groups. Each group is going to have 2 destroyers and 1 bonus ship. That bonus ship is either going to be an amphibious landing ship or a frigate. Either way, they're all going to be identified as Bravo, Charlie, and Delta. Bravo group is tasked with taking out 2 oil rigs. Charlie group is tasked with taking out the 1 remaining oil rig. And Delta's mission is to go hunt down those 2 frigates and take them out. And then just for insurance purposes, we're also going to have the USS Enterprise parked right outside the Persian Gulf to provide air support, in case we need it. So, April 18th, 1988, 4 days after the mining of the USS Samuel B. Roberts, Operation Praying Mantis goes into full swing, and Bravo Group shows up at their oil rig first. At which point, they radio over to the oil rig and inform them that they will be blowing it up in 5 minutes and that they should all leave. So, a bunch of people start leaving. They hop in tugboats and take off. Bravo Group, seeing that they're making an honest effort to actually evacuate, agrees to give them 15 more minutes. So, fast forward 20 minutes later, they send out another radio message, hey, time's up. They then fire the 5-inch guns right over the top of the oil rig with the rounds set to airburst, hopefully scaring off any stragglers. And it is at this point that some Iranian military member decides that he is going to audition to be the main character of this story because he hops on a 23mm anti-aircraft gun and opens fire on Bravo Group. And without skipping a beat, one of the 5-inch guns on one of the destroyers just goes, poof, and just fucking direct hit smokes this dude. Barely touches the rest of the oil rig. This guy, definitely not the main character, but the silver lining, he at least made it to the credits as Baloney Miss Cloud #1. Now, obviously, I'm paraphrasing here, but at this point, Bravo Group radios over to the oil rig one last time, something along the lines of, hey, does anybody else need to find out what it's like to chew 5 gum? Are you fuckers ready to quit? The back and is like, yeah, please cease fire. We're going to leave. So all the Iranian military members leave. Bravo Group decides to open up on it for a little bit, 5-inch guns, before sending over a couple of Hueys full of Marines. The Marines hop out, place some demo charges, hop back on the helicopters, take off. The entire oil rig blows up, and already things are getting more proportional.
Proportional, right?
And while all that was happening, Charlie Group made it to their first oil rig as well, and pretty much the exact same thing played out. The only differences were Charlie Group didn't have Marines to place the demo charges, they had Navy SEALs, and when the Iranians opened up with the 23mm anti-aircraft guns, they just decided to keep firing 5-inch shells at the oil platform until it burst into flames and burnt the entire thing to the ground. At which point, the commander of the destroyer kind of looks over at the Navy SEALs and is like, sorry, I guess you guys get to sit this one out.
Oh, mission got canceled? Good.
And while all that's going down, the third oil rig, at which point they pick up something on radar, and it's definitely another enemy ship headed right towards them. And at this point, you have to remember, this is the late 1980s. None of the American sailors have seen naval warfare on this scale. The pucker factor is on. They are getting harpoon missiles ready, and they are about to get in like one of the biggest naval fights since World War II. At which point, whoever's in charge of Bravo Group decides to take a deep breath, and they're like, okay, let's send up a helicopter real quick just to verify that it's actually an enemy ship. So the helicopter goes up, radios back to Bravo Group. It's definitely a warship, but it's a Soviet destroyer. At which point, everybody's like, what? What is happening right now? So they radio over to this Russian destroyer, and they're like, what are your intentions? And the Russian commander radios back in broken English. I swear to God, this is a real quote. I'm just here to take pictures for history. Look, I know I'm bashing the Soviet Union and communism every single chance I get, but this time around, I got to give it to them. These guys know how to party. Just straight up rolling into the middle of the largest naval operation since World War II to eat popcorn and watch. It's incredible. At this point, Iran finally figures out that there's something going on, but they don't really know what, so they just begin attacking any ship they can find, and the first ship they found was a civilian cargo ship called the Willie Tide that they begin attacking with Boghammer-style speedboats. So the Willie Tide radios for help. The USS Enterprise responds by sending up a bunch of A-6 intruders, as well as F-14 Tomcats. The A-6 intruders show up, start dropping cluster bombs. They end up hitting one of the speedboats and scattering the rest. The civilian cargo ship is saved. Hooray! Cutting back to Charlie Group, now there's an Iranian fast attack ship coming right at them. So they radio over like, hey, yeah, we're kind of going around blowing up all your stuff, but also we've got a very specific list. You're not on it. So how about you just go away and we'll forget we saw you? The Iranian fast attack ship messages back, sounds good, we'll do that. And then they just keep driving right towards them. And then this Iranian fast attack ship gets within like 15 miles of Charlie Group, which is like point blank range for a naval battle. Charlie Group radios again, dude, what are you doing? To which they respond, I'm following orders. And then they proceeded to lock their radar on Charlie Group, which Charlie Group can see. At which point Charlie Group immediately launches 5 missiles directly at the Iranian vessel. The Iranian vessel fires a Harpoon missile back at Charlie Group. Both groups now have missiles in the air screaming towards one another. The Americans launch countermeasures, shooting up chaff rockets that end up catching the Harpoon missile, detonating it in midair. The Iranian vessel, on the other hand, did not have any countermeasures capable of stopping the newer technology behind the American missiles, and it would end up getting sunk pretty much immediately. Then, before anybody can really even fully digest what just happened, radar picks up 3 Iranian F-4s screaming towards Charlie Group. Charlie Group then turns, fires a bunch of surface-to-air missiles at the F-4s. The F-4s see them coming. They're like, oh shit. They pop a U-turn and try to outrun them. F-4s, while they are extremely fast, can't outrun missiles, so one of the missiles ends up blowing a wing off one of the F-4s. Now America has taken out an entire naval vessel and an F-4 that they did not plan on taking out, and it's throwing off all of our proportions. And because of that, American leadership orders Bravo Group to stand down. We're not going to go take out that third oil rig. And right as soon as that order gets given out, Delta Group chimes in, is like, hey, we found that frigate we were looking for. So now nobody knows what to do, because on one hand, things are already getting out of control, but on the other hand, we really want to take out these frigates. So American leadership decides, well, we might not even have to make a hard decision. Maybe that's not even the frigate and the radar's wrong. Why don't you go ahead and send a couple A-6 intruders over, do a flyby. They can verify that it's actually this new modern frigate. And if it is, we'll make a decision from there. Or so they thought, because the A-6 pilots are about to decide that they are, in fact, the main characters of the story. You see, the USS Enterprise and its aircraft aren't really supposed to be doing a whole lot. They're more or less just there for insurance. In fact, they're only allowed to engage the enemy under one of 2 conditions. One, the President of the United States signs off on it, which is actually what happened with the speedboats earlier. Or 2, they get fired upon first. So they got told to go fly by this boat to verify that it is in fact the new modern frigate, but they didn't get told how to fly by the boat. So they drop down 50 feet above the water and just gun it, and they buzz the entire ship. So the ship opens fire with its AA guns, but these planes are so low to the water, the AA guns can't actually aim down low enough. So all the anti-aircraft fire goes right over the top of them. They continue to stay low enough till they get out of anti-aircraft gun range, and then they pull up, at which point the ship launches a bunch of surface-to-air missiles at them. They drop chaff as a countermeasure, takes care of those, no big deal. They then go around, do a U-turn, send a radio message to this frigate, I'm going to sink you now, which they can now legally do, because remember, the ship fired on them first.
One of the classic blunders.
So the A-6 fires an anti-ship Harpoon missile, and the second they pull the trigger on that, the fire control team from the USS Enterprise is like, what the fuck are you doing? We're not supposed to be killing things yet. And the A-6s are like, look, they fired at us first. Them's the rules. And the USS is like, holy shit. Okay, I guess. Let them have it. Then the Harpoon missile finally makes impact. It's a bullseye. The A-6s do a U-turn, go, drop another 500-pound laser-guided bomb right through the deck of this frigate, fly past it, do another U-turn, come back, drop a 1,000-pound bomb on it. Then they radio over to the Enterprise and like, yeah, it's definitely going to sink. We're going to head back. So the A-6s take back to the Enterprise, and like 5 minutes later, Delta Group shows up with their warships and begin firing on the already sinking frigate. They hit the magazine, the frigate explodes, rapidly sinks to the ocean floor. At this point, naval leadership is like, okay, Jesus Christ, everybody stop killing things. We need to figure out what all happened. We got to keep this proportional. Remember. So they start radioing back and forth. Everybody's figuring out what everybody did, if anybody's hurt, what's going on, the whole story. And then as the A6s are making their way back to the USS Enterprise, guess what they happen to fly past? The other modern frigate. So now the entire U.S. Navy is looking at this last frigate like SpongeBob looking at a jug of water.
I don't need it.
But also, like, realistically speaking, the A6s are pretty much out of ammunition. The only thing they have left are 2,000-pound bombs, and those just aren't going to be enough by themselves without a Harpoon missile to take down this ship anyways. So they really are just going to fly by and verify that it's the modern frigate. So the A6 intruders go ahead, they do their flyby. It is in fact the new frigate that they thought it was, and it does in fact open fire on the A6s. A6s make it out completely unscathed, at which point they pop a U-turn, and one of the A6 pilots is like,
It's the bullseye womp rats in my T-16 back home.
So the A6 pulls up, gaining altitude, and then dives down, aims its nose right at the frigate at like a 35-degree angle. They're doing a good old-fashioned dive bombing run like it's fucking World War II. The AA guns start firing. There's bullets whizzing past the plane, but they're committed now. They're closing in, closing in. The bombardier behind the pilot lets the pilot know, hey, I'm locked on. At which point, bombs away, the pilot pulls up, and the bomb goes right down the fucking smokestack of this boat. Blows up, completely destroying the entire engine room. That frigate is now dead in the water with no power. The A6s go ahead and radio in that they have completely disabled this frigate, at which point the American leadership calls a complete ceasefire. They're going to go ahead and let that frigate survive, get towed off, potentially be repaired. With the U.S. Navy having effectively disabled or destroyed over half of Iran's functioning Navy, the U.S. military decides to call it a good day, ends Operation Praying Mantis. We all get to live happily ever after. Except later that night, Iran decided that they wanted to fight a little bit more, and they launched a bunch of Silkworm anti-ship missiles at American vessels. Luckily, no American vessels were actually hit. However, this is now a huge political problem because America has been mad at the fact that Iran even had Silkworm missiles for years at this point, and the American government has made it very clear to Iran that if they ever used them, they would be going to war with America, period. That's set in stone. So the Reagan administration, not wanting to kick off World War III in the 1980s, reaches out to the Iranian government and is like, here's what's going to happen. You're going to go ahead and admit that that was an accident. I'm going to sweep it under the rug, and we're never going to talk about it again. Because if this makes headline news and the American people find out, I'm going to have to get real proportional around here. So Iran's like, okay, fine, whatever. It was an accident. Let's sweep that whole thing under the rug. But I am still going to take America to international court to try to prove that it was a war crime to take out my oil rigs. That way I can get reparations and make America pay for it. So they go to international court. They lay out the case. The international court is looking at America like, okay, well, first of all, you're the fraction people. I don't know how you think that this is proportional, but it definitely wasn't. Second of all, according to the Amity Act, you absolutely should not have attacked their oil rigs. This is probably a war crime. At which point the representative for America is like, well, actually, if you read the Amity Treaty between Iran and the United States, it only talks about ships and boats. It don't say shit about oil rigs, meaning I wasn't obligated to not attack those oil rigs. At which point the court is like, hold on. Fucking, he's right, son of a bitch. Okay, well, I guess America's innocent because I've said it once and I'll say it again. It's never a war crime the first time. And now for the best part of the entire story. America now proceeds to go over to Dubai, pick up what's left of the USS Samuel B. Roberts, tow it all the way back to Maine, then take the ship out of the water, get it in dry dock, cut out the entire damaged section of the ship, including the engine compartment, build another module to fit in its place. This thing weighs like 300 tons. They jack it up, weld it right where it's at, get everything rehooked up, reconnected. This boat is back out on the ocean 1 year later on April 1st, 1989. It then goes on to get recommissioned and serves in the Navy until 2015. I mean, playing Battleship against America's got to suck, right? Like, haha, I've sunk your frigate. And America's like, first of all, no, you didn't. Second of all, fuck your entire Navy as it picks up your board and just throws it at the wall. So in conclusion, if you...
Nice.
That's the history lesson.
Very cool.
I've always liked him.
So, yeah, in other words, Iran is fucked.
Pretty much, if they touch the boats. So that must be why we really haven't heard much of anything yet, other than they're talking now. And then to make things even funnier, the people are still rioting all over fucking Iran. So we're in their ocean waiting for them to surrender or touch the boats. And then the people have a crashing economy, next to no water. Most of their food is gone. And they're
no
basically
water either.
Yeah, they've got like no water. What water they'll likely have is whatever water we give them. Which at this rate, if it's either they touch our boats, they surrender, or I don't know, maybe we kind of pull something hilarious where we basically just start doing the Berlin
Kidnapping
airdrop.
El Presidente.
Oh yes, put ourselves in El Presidente. Yeah, we have the Iranian people deliver us the El Presidente to our ship, because we decide, okay, hey, I think we need to go do some humanitarian work there, and we just start airdropping MREs, water, and rifles and ammo. Just take all those old M16s and just there you go. We're gonna put a parachute on that. Just put the instructions in Arabic. Get somebody from the UAE on that to translate that shit. And then there you go. We've got 2 El Presidentes. One was delivered just like DoorDash. The other one was picked up quicker than DoorDash. So yeah, you could definitely do that. I mean, shit. It's like the Tom Clancy book. You know what it says is, if you have a plan to kick the tiger in its ass, you better have a plan for its teeth. And
February's El Presidente is Iran. March's El Presidente is Cuba.
Oh yes, I got something for that one. By all means, I was looking forward to getting into that one. That and the Chicago Bears and the utilities crisis over here were the 3 things I was looking forward to getting into. Iran was just the treat.
I just know about the embargo or blockade or whatever you want to call it, like kind of like fucking their oil supply.
Yeah.
And then Hassan Piker is planning to do a Greta Thunberg style flotilla to Cuba to assist them.
Oh, he was, until he got told that something might happen to him and there might be some repercussions.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Do I actually have a ticker
I haven't
for
heard
this
that.
one? Well, let me see here. Do I have the ticker for it? Let's see here. Do I have the one for... Oh, no, I didn't. I was going to type it up and then it didn't save. All right. All the same. We don't have a ticker, but you know what? I still have... let's see here. Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. Basically, long story short, Hassan found out the hard way that if he was to actually participate, he would be violating many laws and he would actually go to prison. And his story winds up being much like Tom's.
Watching gay pride parades. He watched gay movies and never once turned away or even made a face during the gay sex.
Wow, Sean Penn is amazing.
But beneath Tom's support of the gay community was a dark secret. Tom had a fear of going to jail and being anally raped.
Hey, nigga, you got a nice little ass, nigga. Give me your ass, nigga. Nigga, you see me.
Oh, good Lord.
The phobia got so bad, he took a leave of absence from his job. Eventually, he stopped leaving the house altogether. Finally, Tom found a program specializing in treating patients with a combination of group therapy.
My name is Tom, and I have a fear of going to jail and being anally raped.
And that's basically how that went.
Awesome.
Yeah, he got informed that he was going to be incarcerated if he was to attempt to go and interrupt in international affairs.
Who was that? Marco Rubio?
It might have been Rubio. I don't think anyone gave him a summons. It just basically wound up being, okay, here you're going to be breaking laws. You're gonna wind up in prison and get anally raped. And since, well, if one wants to go to Cuba, that means you have to pass through Florida. You see if they do the Gators over in Florida. Yeah.
Oh yeah, with the Iran thing, there was a better image that I'd seen, but I can't find it anymore.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
This is part of it.
Yeah, it's not popping up yet.
Let's talk.
Oh, there it is.
Let's talk.
Oh boy. That's some nice logistical lines there. Jesus. Oh. But all right, let's see here. We've got, other than Hassan Piker, just deciding, okay, I think I'm not going to be like Greta. I don't want to get incarcerated. He heard about the bad time she had while being incarcerated. And yeah, being anally raped in prison is not a good thing. Ask anyone that's been in Cook County. And being that it's Florida, to where it's the land of drugs and bestiality, imagine that'd be pretty bad. That'd be pretty bad, yeah. Imagine, instead of him being the man to rape the gators, perhaps it might be the other way around because he's not native. I'm not sure what their rituals would be for hazing a new coming incarceree. So, yeah, that basically made him just go, okay, yep, nope, I'm going back to live streaming. I'm going to go back to torturing my dog. I don't want to be violated by a dinosaur. And a bunch of rednecks. So, yeah. Oh, Lord. So, let's see here. We've got up over in the ghetto, everyone's still pissed off about the utilities. And then we've got Alex Jones' insane take on how the midterms might go. So whichever of the two you want to go and get into. The utility thing won't take too long. We've just got some basic legalese papers that they gave us to go over. Oh, okay, hold on. Back to San. I actually found the article. Gotta love it when things fail to load. So before we get into those, let's see here. Where in the hell is it? Here we go. Boom. Cancels his Cuba trip due to legal concerns. I didn't want to go to jail because being anally raped in jail is bad. Hassan Piker, widely known online as Hassan Obvious, cancels his anticipated trip to Cuba over fears of potential legal repercussions in the United States. Quote, I didn't want to go to jail, end quote. Prominent American streamer admitted, as reported by the media outlet Sportskeeda. Okay, so it wasn't Marco Rubio. All right. The announcement comes as a surprise given Hassan's earlier excitement about visiting the island nation during recent streams. The broadcast on the YouTube channel Fear and Clips, Hassan shared the Cuban government via his intermediary had offered to solve his internet issue access to ease his visit. This offer starkly contrasts with the daily challenge of millions of Cubans through power outages and unreliable internet connections. Hassan recalled his previous visits to Cuba on a student visa, in which he filmed a documentary engaged in street baseball and experienced life on an urban farm. Quote, Cuba is amazing. The first time I went, I had a fantastic experience. I even considered returning for May Day, end quote. Because at least there, I wouldn't be anally raped in prison by alligator dinosaurs. Mentioned in the stream where he also defended Cuba's medical missions against the backdrop of the U.S. embargoes. However, he refrained from addressing the repression, poverty, and lack of freedoms plaguing the Cuban populace. Gee, I wonder why. Ultimately, Hassan decided going against the trip after being questioned at the border upon returning from France. He grew concerned about, yep, damn you, animal. Get down. No, stop climbing on everything. You stay there. Yes, you feral beast. Anyways.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. And as you grew concerned to visit Cuba might be used against him, highlighted the political implications of traveling to a country governed by a regime known for imprisoning dissidents, censoring media, and criminalizing social protest. I was informed they're well aware of who I am and what I do. It revealed in a GQ interview suggesting he might be under federal surveillance because they like you and they want you, and you can do it the easy way or you can do it the hard way. And choice is yours. And I imagine, comically speaking, oh, where can I find that? Let me go find that real quick. Because I imagine it went a little something like this. Here we go. Bump that up. Let me get back to here. Let me, oh, Scoop dropped out again. There we go. Boom. Go screen share. And then here we go. Imagine it went something like this. Income.
Hold on, I just got out of the shower. There's some juice on the table.
Mm-hmm. Take your time.
Here enters Hassan over here. And here is the CIA.
You want to explain to me what you're doing here?
I came looking for booty.
You came looking for sex with an underage boy?
Oh, no, I ain't come looking for no little boys.
Or in this case, the CIA's mentioned that no, they're not there for his dog. They're there for him. He is the one they seek, not the dog.
I ain't got no milk, no cookies, nothing. I came looking for man's butt.
A man's butt? Excuse me?
Oh, I know who you are, Chris Hansen. But see, I calls you Chris Handsome. I watch your TV show all the time. See, you go ahead and bring them cameras and them police is waiting outside. It don't make me no difference. Now, I tell you what, I like you and I want you. Now, we can do this the easy way or we can do it the hard way. The choice is yours.
Well, I don't think you and I will be doing...
And then this is where Hassan made the smart decision of deciding, I'll do it the easy way and not the hard way.
It's not go to Cuba.
Yep, I'm just not going to go to Cuba.
Well, speaking of ass raping, did you hear what happened with the president with the tariffs?
Yes, I heard that the Supreme Court said he can't use the tariffs in the way that he has been doing them. So very much in the same way to where the United States Navy said, well, we're going to do things proportional. He decided to break out Plan B, get a couple lawyers and go, okay, we'll use non-traditional quasi-tariffs.
Right. Basically, I was watching Stephen Miller before I hopped in here earlier, and he was basically, I'm paraphrasing, but he was basically saying, yeah, we were coming in from the left, so now we're just coming in from the right.
Pretty much.
And apparently the left is like going into like apoplectic shock over this. Like,
it's hilarious.
Yeah, they're losing their minds over it. So, yeah, it's fun, and it's going to be fun actually to see how Hassan and the rest of them react to this, because they were all ready to celebrate, and the old man knows what he's doing. You know, that's the best way I can put it. He knows what he's doing. He knew that they were going to do these with these tariffs. He was waiting for them to do it, and now that they did it, he, like you said, he rolled out Plan B, and it's amusing to me. They keep thinking that they're gonna like beat him, and yeah,
and he went at him like this.
Yeah,
I ain't got no milk, no cookies, nothing. I came looking for man's butt.
A man? Excuse me?
Oh, I know who you are, Chris Hansen. But see, I calls you Chris Handsome. I watch your TV show all the time. So you can go ahead and bring them cameras and them police is waiting outside. It don't make me no difference. Now, I tell you what, I like you and I want you. Now, we can do this the easy way or we can do it the hard way.
And right now, they're doing that the hard way.
Yeah.
You know, as you can see here, as a comical reference, cancels his trip to Cuba due to concerns over potential legal repercussions in the United States, fearing that his visit might be used against him. Oh my, that also reminds me of the tariffs. Oh, heavens to Betsy, thine rectum.
Sounds like your cat's getting sassy with you.
Oh, yes. constantly. Just about, dear. I know.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting the next couple of weeks because, like you said, yeah, Cuba's on the ropes. Venezuela is already yesterday's news, and Iran looks like it's ready to collapse. So this is going to be really interesting seeing how this all plays out. I personally, I'm enjoying every minute of it. And now that the British have turned around and arrested Prince Andrew, what a lot of people are thinking is he's going to sing like a canary. And now everyone's talking all this shit about Pam Bondi, but I think Bondi was waiting for something like this, like for a high-profile arrest, so that they can actually move. Because if Prince Andrew decides to testify, that was the thing. They had no corroborating testimony, and I know you both are fully aware we don't have double jeopardy in this country. I'm thinking that they wanted to have somebody who would give an airtight testimony, somebody who was reliable. And the King of England's brother, I think, is a pretty reliable witness. Just call it a hunch. So
this is what Trump is like right now.
All right.
You see the clip I'm about to play?
I need to restart you since you're using 50 gigabytes of RAM, and that's not going to be optimal.
Hold on, Beetle. If you restart me, I swear to God, I'll come back and use 100 gigabytes of RAM, you little pretentious shit.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So I think by the time we get into the full swing with the spring, shit's going to be completely off the chain. It's going to be wild. We're probably going to see. And if Prince Andrew starts giving testimony, it's going to be rats on a sinking ship. They're all going to start to turn on each other, and they're all going to testify, and everyone's going to try to get plea deals. And
he's probably already squealing.
Yeah, and I think that's what this one was waiting for, because I see all these people armchair quarterbacking everything, and they're all like, "Why are no arrests being made?" And I'm thinking to myself, they must not have a strong enough case. And people, unfortunately, I don't want to sound like one of those arrogant, pompous assholes when I say that the majority of the population is ignorant. But when it comes to due process and law, they aren't lawyers. They're extremely ignorant. And you want it to be where when they say they want to nail the guy to the wall, they are not just turning a phrase. They mean they want it to be basically where this person cannot get away. They want them to. They want to make it where they go in front of the jury. They present a case that's completely solid, and the thing of it is,
rights.
Exactly, they want them dead to rights, and they want to make sure that they're getting only the people who actually went there and were diddling kids and eating people. They don't want to get the people who are sitting there, drinking martinis, snorting cocaine, and snorkeling. Like that's not what they don't want to get people for being, lecherous, douchebags. They want to get people who are being fucking evil. Yes, exactly. So to me, I think this has been a whole lot of separating the wheat from the chaff. And the thing is, and I'll be completely honest with you, I think that this has all been going, and they're going to say, "Oh, 4D chess." Well, if you want to use that term, you can, but this just seems to me like everything has been leaked at the right time. Because you notice, until he got Maduro and until Iran started to collapse, there was no Epstein list. So
there was no raid on the Georgia election place.
Yeah,
right.
That too.
Right. And so my thinking is that they wanted to make it where they had as many balls in the air as they could have, because the midterms are going to be at the end of this year. And I think they wanted to make it where nonstop for the next few months, the news feed is going to be nothing but them doing positive things and the Democrats being complete lunatics, frothing at the mouth, you know, screaming about Orange Hitler. That's what it looks like to me, and
that could be a relatively sound strategy. I mean, shoot, if we keep doing stuff like this, and we're, you know, basically getting El Presidentes of dictatorships every month or every few months, and they're just frothing at the mouth, going nuts, rioting, killing, raping, pillaging, pooping, throwing feces and whatever like chimpanzees at Brookfield Zoo, then that could possibly work in our favor. I mean, if they get if they basically make a, as a Honey Badger was calling it, you know, the Summer of Blood, then yeah, that will probably scare people into voting Republican, because you can't reason with somebody who's breaking into your house with a crowbar, naked and throwing burning feces all over, screaming, you know, Orange Hitler.
Yeah. So now here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
It's related to all of this.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a real problem right now, and my problem is we got 3 fantastic candidates for the 2028.
Mm-hmm.
We got Rubio, we got Vance, and we got Stephen Miller.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see Miller. Now, the way I see it is, this is nothing against Vance. When I say I don't want to see him in the White House yet, because he's youngest out of this group. I think him and Miller are the same age. I think Miller might even be a little older. I would love to see Miller in Rubio's position as Secretary of State. And I'd like to see Rubio and Vance on a ticket. I'd like to see Rubio and Miller on a ticket. You know, so it's not like I'm saying I don't want to pick Vance. It's not that. It's just, it's one of those things where I see a lot more results that I'd like if we had Miller in the Secretary of State position. And then you got to remember, we have Tulsi Gabbard. You have so many good people right now that are in this administration. And that's the thing,
Except
is
Pam Bondi.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't.
He's running slow on things.
That's the thing. It could just be Pam Bondi is weathering all the insults and weathering all the hate because she's building a case. I mean, look, the old man does usually not make mistakes when it comes to picking people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the first term when his administration was in, he had went with people because he was listening to these Republicans, and those were the bad picks he had. The picks he made on his own.
Yeah, they're all at the Walmart discount bin talking about their stories about the Trumpism, schism, whatever it was.
Right.
$5.
But the ones he made himself, the ones he picked, like you don't hear about Holman, Steve Mnuchin.
Holman was a good one.
Mnuchin was a fucking a wizard when it came to finance. So I liked Mnuchin. And the fact that Mnuchin actually sat there and tried to do everything by the book with them. And you seen the Democrats, like the time when he's sitting there and he's talking to Maxine Waters and she was like getting nasty with him. And he said, "Ma'am, I have 7 other meetings today. I came in here to try to, you know, because you asked me to be in here." He's like, "I really don't have time for this if it's not going to go anywhere." And those were his picks. The ones that the GOP picked it was the same swamp creatures. It was the same bullshit.
Yeah.
Right now we have a kick-ass administration, but my fear is, what I was getting at is, with the 2028 coming up, the Democrats, they had their kick-ass administration, if you want to call it that, because it's what they wanted. Under Obama and under Biden, they had pretty much, if you're a lefty, they had a powerhouse team, and out came the knives when it was ready to anoint the next successor. And you seen they were throwing each other under the bus. They were cutthroating.
I mean, dude, what David Hogg did to that one poor fucker who's like, "Now I'm going to forever be irrelevant." And that's like, yeah, probably. You're probably really screwed. And then even when Hogg went and got his whole Ponzi scheme going, even they went, whoa, you're stealing too much, too blatantly. What are you doing on the internet telling people this? And he's like, well, fuck you. Now I'm the head of it. And he's like, yeah, the hell you are. Oh, yeah. That was all sorts of fun.
Yeah. Well, that's my whole point, is the Democrats pretty much imploded. I don't see them as being able to do anything constructive maybe for the next 8 years. They're looking right now, they're looking to run Newsom, and they were looking to run with him Hakeem Jeffries. Those are the strongest people they got, and you're basically you're running Patrick Bateman and Timu Obama. So that's not a good look. You cannot run any of that crazy squad. AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar.
The last thing she screwed up to where she couldn't answer. Like, okay, yeah, she's over the G7. Like, hey, what are you gonna do if China invades Taiwan? You gonna send troops? Yes or no? And she's like, and someone literally had to, someone had to literally yell, "Today, Junior."
Yeah. So basically, my concern is fracturing once we get into the 2028. I'm afraid, because if you remember when Trump went out in 2016, the Republicans put out their cream of the crop, their best and their brightest, which he eviscerated them all. But my point was, they had put out a powerhouse as far as old guard Republicans went and neocons. It was the best that they had. They
pulled Jeb Bush out of retirement.
Right. And so now we have this opportunity where we have all these moderate Democrats who have become Republicans, who they were the new blood that you needed, because these were people who were not neoliberals. They were, fiscal Democrats. They were 80s Dems. They were New York Dems.
Blue Dogs.
Likely voted Obama.
Right. Blue Dogs. Exactly. And so they did probably likely vote Obama. So you have, what my point is I've been saying for years, the Republican Party has to pull more to the center, because the problem is the right is demonized in this country. And I'll be completely honest with you. The modern Republican Party is not so much right wing as it's almost like the Libertarian Party 30 years ago. It has a lot of pangs of the Libertarian Party of the 90s.
Before they went full retard with Gary Johnson.
Right. Because they become extremely constitutionalist, extremely free speech. Basically, they took a scalpel to the Tea Party, and they got rid of all of the stuff that was leaving a bad taste in the urban centers' mouths.
Like selling cocaine to children.
Well, I'm talking like what the Tea Party was actually doing, not what the news was like lying about.
No, I'm just talking about Gary Johnson. Just him, just like going on stage, taking his shirt off, going on a tirade about how he's a libertarian, and it's okay to sell drugs to kids, and that's what he's going to do because he's a libertarian. And he's probably high as a kite doing that too.
Well, the libertarians, I think I've said this to you before, the candidate that they have for my state for governor, it's nothing against him as for being governor, but right now, because of what a mess New York State is in, I do not think that Larry Sharpe would be able to pull anything off as governor. The state right now, it should have got Lee Zeldin for governor. He would have been a perfect fit. We got a few other people. We were going to run Elise Stefanik. They got something on her, or they threatened her or did something, because she just dropped out the race, which was heartbreaking for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
bummer.
Hochul's corrupt.
Oh, you think? You think? So
thinks maybe there's a problem with that one.
Right. So right now, you're not going to see Larry Sharpe being able to do anything as far as the governor. I mean, New York is just, you need a strong Republican in there to whip this state back into shape. But the thing I'm getting at, the reason I mentioned him is Larry Sharpe had a lot of good ideas. And I'd actually like to see President Trump reach out to Larry, sometime maybe after the midterms, give him some sort of an appointment, make him a czar of something, give him some sort of an office, because I think that if the Republicans start to flirt,
I'm going to get going to bed because I'm starting to get kind of tired.
I feel you. I've got to get to bed.
Yeah,
same as well, because I've got to get to church. But I want Scoob to finish up on that, and there's one small bit I have to add on to this.
Yeah. Well,
proceed.
I was just going to say I'd like to see the Republicans actually not so much cater to the libertarians' wants, but try so much to get them to come to the table more.
Yeah,
because
like how Mentis Wave was talking about.
Right. I'd like to see the libertarians actually working with the Republicans more. The same as the constitutionalists, because there is a constitutionalist party. I think they got 50 people. But I'd like to see a lot more of the third parties that are not nut job left-wing parties actually try to, if we can get I've been saying this for years, if we can get the Republican Party to get more to the center, there may be a chance, like within, I want to say the next 8 years, because I'm being realistic. I'm talking like the midterms, the presidential election, the midterms after that. I think that's how long it's going to take to unfuck the country between what the neolibs and the neocons did between Bush and Obama, between those terms. You have 16 years of solid idiocy. And
then Trump kind of exposed the wounds, and then Biden,
everything went bonkers after that.
Yeah, and then Biden kind of tried to limp the skin suit back on.
Yeah, we tried stitching it back on Ageen style.
Biden was actually a good thing, because the old man, being the puppet he was, and the fact that they gave all these interns and everyone else carte blanche with that pen, it basically it tore off the veil and it ripped off the Band-Aid. It was actually a good thing. I know that sounds weird to say. It was a good thing for Biden to be president, but when the Democrats got what they wanted, they knocked Trump out of office. The mask was off. They did all the crazy shit. They tried to get all the crazy shit done that they wanted to do. The rest of the rhinos jumped ship, especially once Trump was rerunning. We got rid of all those fucking neocons. The only one left that I can think of off the top of my head is two.
Mitch
McConnell, Lindsey Graham. Apparently Susan Collins and Linda Murkowski have actually been brought to heel, which I'm fucking shocked.
How'd that get done?
I don't know, but I made a joke about it. I forget on whose podcast. They were doing something I was watching on YouTube. And apparently, the act that just got passed that President Trump was trying to push through, Susan Collins sponsored it. And I said, no wonder it's been so cold lately. Hell must have froze over. Susan Collins actually acted like a Republican and did something for the people.
Hilarious.
So yeah, I'm shocked. But that was all I was saying, is that's, again, I'm going to keep thumping for the same thing. I'd like to see the Republicans not so much leave the right, but move more into the center.
Being diplomatic is always a good move, so that wouldn't be so bad. It's what I myself usually do. It's why, like, despite how blatantly American we are, like, whenever
and we did see, like, the sort of civil war that erupted after Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
Yeah. And look, I'll be completely honest. I think we're entering a phase in American politics where left and right, it's no longer going to be a thing in the next 10, 20 years. I think it's going to be basically, again, you're going to see a more homogenized Republican Party representing the bulk of Americans. I think I would like to see the Democratic Party become irrelevant and fractured, and I'd like to see the rise of third parties. I'd like to see, I've said this for years, I'd like to see the Democrats phased out. I'd like to see the Republicans representing 51% of the country, with the other 49% represented by third parties.
That would be nice.
That's what I think is the model we have to consider going forward. And that was my last part on it. So, Burnside, you said you wanted to wrap it up because Crossfire has to crash out, and I have a nagging wife to go console.
Yeah, no, I feel my old lady's waiting for me too. No, to piggyback off of your idea, no, I would, that wouldn't be so bad. And as far as like writing letters to try and get people to be more diplomatic, that's something we're going to try to do in the near future here. There's one topic I really didn't get to, but you know, that's fine. It's ongoing. Half the work for it, I actually have to get to myself before I can do like a full thing on it. But it ties into the you missed it, Scoop, but it was something that aside from the music, I opened up with Crossfire when I was explaining to him that there were a couple things that got uncovered with some of the conspiracies as to why it is that the NIPSCO crisis is going on, and it's been like a 58% jump. And in other parts of Indiana with the different companies they have, it's not as bad. We're literally paying like Auburn, where they're at in Indiana, they're paying $60 less than us per 500 units of gas. You know, we're getting upcharged completely. On a list of like 1 to 10 of the utility monopolies, we're at number 10 as the freaking worst. And there's a whole bunch of questions in that, investigations alike. And I did want to appear in a couple things over the past few days that got sprinkled along. And there's some video editing I have to do because one person who wanted speaking to us, his identity has to be protected. So I'll have to go and doctor that up a bit. So he's secure. And then another, and then the 2 work days before, I wound up coming across some information I need to verify from a friend that might tie all this together as far as to why everything mysteriously has jumped up. And the only response NIPSCO has is infrastructure. What fucking infrastructure? You know, no one can point to, okay, well,
it's scary Indiana.
You would think, but I'm like, looking around and I'm like, everything still looks like Moldova, except it's in English. That's quite literally it. I'm like, oh, goody, they're actually going to pave the streets. I don't have to do it myself like a good anarchist, you know? And I go out there and I'm like, this still looks like
burning
Moldova.
tires.
Pretty much, yeah. And then I realize it's not my own, and it's the neighbor a few doors down. And I'm like, you just had to leave them on the sidewalk and I would have gotten them. And he's like, oh, okay. I thought you wanted me to signal you to go get them. I'm like, no. The utilities still work. They're just upcharging us. Oh, okay.
I'm going to get going to bed, so.
All right.
All right, good night, bro.
Good night, man. But yeah, that's going to be on our to-do list, is get all that together. And then we're going to start writing letters to the president about it and go, okay, we want a full-on investigation into this. Here's what we found. Here's what we have. We don't like that this is going on.
Use Twitter and Truth Social. Anything that you write to him, so it winds up in the National Archives or whatever, you can write it to him. But make sure that what you do is you post it on Twitter or Truth Social first, then print it out and mail it to him. Do it like that.
Okay, we'll do.
Yeah. One last thing, though, before we wrap. I just wanted to mention, I would have liked to mention it while Crossfire was here. He'd get a kick out of this.
Yeah.
I am actually now, when I say I'm starting to like him, I mean I'm starting to like him because I'm starting to see this guy is a lot more savvy than a lot of people are giving him credit for. Zoran Mamdani. I watched his speech the other day. Oh my God, bro. I actually wanted to shake the man's hand. He beautifully set up Governor Kathy Hochul.
Really?
Oh my God, he set her up perfectly. He was explaining that he's going to have no choice but to raise property taxes, and he's going to have to raise everyone in New York City's property taxes by 9.83%.
Ooh.
Because of Governor Kathy Hochul.
Oh wow, that is
and he put up on it. He had a whiteboard and he showed what he would like to do, and he had a complete breakdown of how he would like to tax people in New York City who make over $1 million a year. And he said, "This is $1 million." He said, after all of their expenses and everything are paid. He said, in other words, this is just $1 million that they put in their pocket. He wanted to tax them, and he showed the plans and the other things he had. He said, this is what we would like to do. He said, but because Kathy Hochul will not sign off on it, we're going to have to do this. and he showed that they were going to have to raise the taxes 9.83%, and he showed all the different programs they were going to have to cut.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah, and I was watching somebody else.
Looks like it sounds like he really pulled a Trotsky on her.
Right. And I was watching Professor Nez earlier, and this is not me shitting on Professor Nez. I like Professor Nez, but he's from the West Coast, so he doesn't understand how it works. And he was getting on Mamdani because Mamdani had it, and he showed the press conference. I'm like, oh, Professor, you should have looked into this before you put up the video. Mamdani had made a statement that you cannot be shoveling the sidewalk without 2 forms of ID. And then I saw the video that Professor Nez was sharing. No. In New York City, and this has been going on since I was a kid. What they do is if you want to work, if you want to get paid to shovel, you have to show up with 2 wallet-sized photos so they can put them on the ID right then and there and laminate it. And you have to have 2 forms of ID that verify that the person in the photo is you. And you have to have your social security card because you're going to get paid to shovel. I believe New York City pays upwards of $48 an hour for you to shovel.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, then. That's worth it.
But Professor Nez was attacking him because he's like, yeah, you need 2 forms of ID to shovel now in New York City. And I was watching this. I'm like, oh, Professor, don't you understand? This is the program since I was a kid. And I always wanted, I just never had the opportunity. I always wanted to just go hop on the L and go in. But because they even said we're not hiring anybody who does not live within the city limits. Because, people will come down from Westchester. They come down from White Plains. They come down from Yonkers. They come from over by me. Yeah. And people will come from Jersey because that's, bro, you think about it. If you do like an 8-hour day at $48 an hour, you can do the math in your
That's
head.
good money. Yeah.
Yeah. Think about
taxes. Man, that's still good money.
Yeah, it's really good for one day's work.
Yeah,
And
that's like making $30 straight an hour.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then think about your tax return at the end of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Like, especially like, because that's the thing is you wouldn't just work for the one day. They have to clear, like they have different terraces of what, okay, we got to clear the sidewalks first in the main traffic areas. We have to clear the areas over here by the different things. So like, let's say if something could stay closed for a day or two, okay, we're going to get to that tomorrow. If something doesn't have to be open for a few days, we'll get to that last. So in other words, one snowstorm could actually yield you a solid week of $48 an hour. So you could get in 40 hours at $48 an hour. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's, yeah. But he didn't invent this, Mamdani. This has been on the books. I think they've been doing this since maybe the 80s, maybe even earlier. But I remember it ever since I was a kid because my father used to constantly, because he drove the plow, and he'd pull strings with the union, and he'd be driving the plow over in Manhattan, and he'd be driving the plow in the outer boroughs. And I believe he was clear. Now I'm going back 40 years ago. The old man was clearing something like $50, $60 an hour. Damn. And yeah, and I remember, I think the last time when we had the big storms, like in 2003, 2004, the old man wasn't driving the plow then, but my boy Brandon in the neighborhood was. And he said to me, he's like, yeah, I'm sitting in the plow on standby waiting. He's like, I got the laptop hooked up. I got my PlayStation hooked up to the laptop. He said, and I'm sitting there playing Grand Theft Auto. He said, and I'm getting paid $78 an hour on standby.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
Yeah, bro, that fucking union job, it pays. But again, just to recap what I started off before I petered off into the weeds here. Yeah, it looks to me like Mamdani is setting up Hochul, and I'm thinking that this may actually be where Mamdani and Hochul wind up shooting each other in the foot so badly that come the next election cycle, we may get not just a Republican governor, we may even get a Republican mayor.
Best of luck, man.
Oh, yeah, definitely. All right. Give my best to you, girl, and let's wrap this up.
Definitely. Good night, man.
All right, good night. I will talk to you when I talk to you. Have a great night.
You as